This is the map of consciousness, also known as the Allegory of the Cave. This right here is the prisoners, and they're facing the back of the. This is a cave. This is the back of the cave wall, and these are all prisoners, and they're facing the back of the cave wall, and they're chained at their necks, their legs, and their arms, so they can't turn their heads around. They're just looking at the back of the cave wall. This is the first step. This is the third dimension. Everything inside the cave is the third dimension. Okay, this right here is the guardians of truth. Okay, these are people who are standing in front of. This is supposed to be a fire. Sorry for the drawing. But anyway, this is the fire. Okay, these people are holding up puppets, and the firelight from behind them is shining the shadow of the puppets on the back of the cave wall. And all these people here, all these prisoners, are all debating as to what they're seeing. What are they seeing? What are they seeing? You know, they're all arguing, complaining. Just this represents a disharmony in the world. We're all doing this. Okay. Now the prisoners are only capable of illusions, because all they can, as far as the real world goes, all they can see is the shadows on the back of the cave wall. And so all they have is illusions of what's real. Okay. These are the guardians. They have beliefs. And the puppets that they are using to show back on the cave wall are their beliefs. Their actual beliefs. Now, a lot of people would say that the people here like this, they're liars or whatever. They're not really liars. They actually believe certain things about the real world, and they're casting shadows on the cave wall, showing their beliefs. With the puppets. Okay. Now this would be like the government, news reporters telling you what's going on in the world and that kind of thing. Okay. Then, as you pass this, you get here. This is the cave. This is the cave entrance, and this over here is the real world. This is the cave entrance. These are the people here going over to the first enlightenment. You have to cross the divided line to go into the first enlightenment, which is knowing. Okay. This is the hardest part. Getting free of the change is not all that hard, but this part right here is really hard. This part right here. Okay, because in order to pass over into the fourth dimension, which is peace, they're still surrounded by their fears, and they have to overcome all their fears to cross the divided line. Okay, and this, if you can realize, you've been in a cave for eons, all your life and all your past lives, and all of a sudden you've had to learn how to stand up. You've had to learn, and all of a sudden you have this bright light coming from the entrance of the cave, and you're adjusting your eyes. You're standing up and you're adjusting your eyes to the light. And this is the hardest part. And this is where that's the hardest part, is overcoming your fears. Then when you get here, you know the real world. Okay, and you see people walking around. You see people walking around. These are masters. These are masters, mystics, all kinds of things. And then you get to a certain place here, the second enlightenment, which is the knowledge of the heart. It's the awakening of the heart. And all that is your heart. These are people who, these are masters. They are also people who waiting on the second enlightenment. Once they get the second enlightenment, which is the opening of the heart. Now, what the opening of the heart is, the awakening of the heart, it's called the second enlightenment. The first enlightenment is called the illumination of mind. That's where you have the knowing. The second enlightenment is called the awakening of the heart. And this point right here is where you fall in love with everything, everybody, and everything that happens to you, everything that comes into your eyesight. You fall in love with. Okay? At this point, the third enlightenment, this is God. This is the third enlightenment. And this is showing direct communication between you and God. This arrow right here is showing God will reach out first, and this is direct communication with God. And then you have the third enlightenment. You're still down here. You're still down here, but you have this third enlightenment, and this noesis is, and that's what this is called. And what that is full recollection, full remembrance. Remembering, you'll remember all your past lives. You'll remember everything, and it's because all this knowledge is already in our minds. It's just that we're 95% unconscious. Only 5%. Right here, we're working only 5% consciousness, and that's expanding as we go here. Okay, as we move.